And Tesla going to keep going up too.
Absolutely.
He hasn't left Trump yet. Like they got the Army and Navy game together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good lesson. Power relationships and networking, everything you guys have been saying. But if you're next to the king, why would you leave to go back to HQ?
But it's also a lesson for like people that's trying to like, all right, he's the richest person in the world, right? And I think he has 10 kids, 4 different. So it's like he's not with his family to be with Trump. He spent Thanksgiving with Trump. He has been with Trump.
I think he brought the family though.
He
saw that a family picture. I'm like, what?
He's been with Trump probably more than he's been with his family.
How would it have been with Kamala if she would have won? Shout out to the queen.
But
we tried to get y'all to play.
But it's paid off for him. It's paid off for him. I mean, sometimes you gotta make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. So
say it again.
It's a fact. And if you with somebody that can't understand that, the best thing that you should do is leave.
Gotta let him go.
This is the richest person in the world. You think like he's making sacrifices to get $100 billion. Is it worth it?
I don't know. Is it? You have 2 seconds. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, here's why.
I'm with pack the bags.
Here's what I'm asking, right? At 270 million or 270 billion, which you were at prior to all this.
Yeah.
Now you're at 400. What changes for you?
You don't get that trillion.
No, I'm saying even if you have a trillion, honest? What changes for you?
Can we be very honest?
Power.
You're already the richest man in the world.
It's power, levels of power.
You've accumulated it.
He's trying to catch up to the Saudis while America is falling. Like, I give Elon a lot of flack. The one thing I will give him credit for, he has built enough companies in America to help drive up the GDP of America. And if we're going to be very honest, this is the part about generational wealth people don't want to see. Generational wealth is not 2 or 3 million.
No.
People going to say, yo, he has enough. I get that. He's looking at Saudi Aramco, their family.
Yeah. And that, from that standpoint, I'm saying monetary, that's one thing, but you have the pieces on the puzzle board already prior to all this, right? Like you had all those companies prior to this, right? Like that's
but
not
the valuation goes higher.
The valuation of it is going to go higher, but you already have the pieces in place. I guess now it's just like policy.
Power has no end. It's just like Alexander the Great, like when they was like, yo, all right, how much more you going to take? He's like, you're going to keep going. So when you reach a certain point, it's not about money. It's about power, and you can never have enough power. So it's like, all right, he's a powerful person. He's trying to become the most powerful person in the history of the world. He's not there yet. So it's like, but he has a trajectory. He's moving very quickly into that world. So he's probably looking at this like, damn, this opportunity that's in front of me right now, I might never have this opportunity again. Like he's literally right next to the president of the United States, and he's positioning himself in all his companies and his startup companies that he's invested in. And I mean, the dynasty that he's curating is legend.
And Sam stole OpenAI from him. If we're gonna be honest,
that's a whole nother.
And by the way, I think that Elon's a piece of shit. By the way,
does that make the president-elect the most powerful person in the world? Then
I don't want to talk about
different levels of power. There's different levels.
I'm asking. I'm just asking.
He's one of the most powerful people.
One of
for sure.
Yeah, but even Alexander, right? Like that reign came to an end.
Everybody's reign is going to come to an end.
But you said power has no end.
But you chase it. It's a game. It's a game. It's all a game. It's all a game.
It goes back to the Medici
Game of
rule.
Thrones.
Money to get power, power to protect the money.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it's a Game of Thronos.
But
game.
Yeah, but even those have finales.
But it's not for everybody. Game's not for everybody. No. So if most 99.9% of the people is never gonna even aspire. They don't want to aspire to that. They want to, but that 0.1% of the population that actually do think like that, they're wired differently. This dude is trying to take over universes. He's trying to colonize Mars. If you have in your brain the idea to colonize a planet you got to think, you got to be a different type of person.
Absolutely.
And he, like I said, I mean, as far as stuff that he says, I don't agree with anything that he says, but I do respect the fact that he's probably one of the most smartest people that's ever walked the earth. And what he's been able to accomplish. Nobody else in human history has.
Yeah.
He's accomplished things that nobody else in human history has ever been able to accomplish. That's almost impossible. That's a rare type of person.
Can somebody catch him?
Imagine if he was more likable.
Yeah, can somebody catch him?
No,
not in this era.
and because he's too diversified.
Who's the closest?
Nobody.
I'm gonna be real, bro. Elon is probably 4 or 5 times better than Steve Jobs.
You got to have government. His biggest threat.
And it pains me to say, yeah, you need governmental power to catch him.
That's the only people that he hasn't talked about. That's the only threat is China. If China collectively tries to take him off of this, like that's his biggest threat. No individual person. It's going to take 1 billion people. It's going to take 1 billion.
Because quietly, and it's I mean, this is the time that we live in. Like Zuck is at 220 billion.
Yeah, but it's different.
Like
it's just different.
we're not even talking about that.
It's
like
just
this.
different,
No, I'm just
That's
saying
true.
in terms of wealth, right? This dude is at 220 billion.
But we're talking.
Bezos at
Yeah.
279.
Well, that's why I said like. But when I said 100 million, like 1 million is like the new 100,000. 100 million like the new 10 million. People didn't understand that because it's just like there was no $1 trillion companies. Now there's $13 trillion companies. There's no trillionaires in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, it's going to be at least 10 trillionaires. So the value of money is just getting devalued so quickly. But these guys have a lot of money, but they don't have the infrastructure or the power that he has. When you control 70% of the satellites in the world, he controls space. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy as hell that he controls space.
He was the market maker for EV to work. It
He's
didn't
going to have an army of robots.
Who has the most data out of those guys? Zuck, right?
Google too.
Well, Zuck has more because he has more users.
Yeah, and
Apple,
with the acquisition
Apple,
of WhatsApp. But you're going to argue Elon did Zuck's job of infiltrating and taking better. He didn't found Tesla, but he took it to another level.
Yeah.
Starlink, I think it's probably the best and most important startup in American history.
They're buying back private shares already.
And he don't have the political clout. Zuckerberg doesn't have the political clout that Elon has, at least for the next 4 years.
He's younger.
No, I'm just saying for the next 4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
Zuckerberg got to give $1 million to the inauguration because he's trying to get into the. They even said like when he went to go have dinner with Trump was like, "If I lost, would you be here?" Like Trump, like
head on.
They don't have the political cliche that Elon has a green light to do whatever he wants, and that's
to do
for the next
4 years is a long time.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I'm talking about
locked up for real.
But the future projection of that, right? Like
4 years can set you up for life.
Yeah, I mean he's already set for life in terms of like.
No, I mean control the world. Set for life. Control the world.
Can he control the world in the next 4 years?
Yeah.
Think about this though. If Sam wouldn't have fucked him out of out of OpenAI, Elon would probably be under Rockefeller's 1B.
He's going to be.
That's an important.
He's going to be over Rockefeller. He's going to be over Rockefeller.
OpenAI just hit. They just hit.
It's going to be tough.
300. They got
because of government regulation.
All the startup company. Look, that's what I'm saying. He for the next 4 years, he's going to bring all these companies. Government regulation means nothing to him for 4 years. He got a get out of jail free card for 4 years. That's why he's not sleeping. He like, yo, this is. I'm up. I'm with you. Anywhere you go, I'm with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Think about what he can do in 4 years. You got Neuralink, you got Starlink, you got
still got the Boring Company.
SpaceX.
That's all the same. SpaceX is under.
No, SpaceX is
Starlink is under SpaceX.
But I'm saying as far as the government contracts and all that stuff, he's going to be able to maneuver himself.
Yeah, that's why I said policy
not just in America.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to maneuver himself globally
in the world
to control a lot of different sectors. Like he's going to be able to control a lot of different sectors. You start putting chips in people's brains globally.
Yep, and you send them little robots over to fight that war. I'm telling that stock alone. Starlink gonna be worth 280 to 400 easily.
I think the valuation for SpaceX right now, they were talking about the buyback of shares at $185, which would give it a $350 billion valuation.
People, even Tesla, people is so bullish on Tesla because of Elon. Really, like that's the only publicly Trump company that they can actually invest in. So it's like the next best thing to invest in his whole. So they're so bullish on Elon that Tesla's a no-brainer. It's like this is why the stock represents the confidence that
no
people
fundamental
have.
change.
Yeah,
him.
there's no fundamentals. Like this isn't a car play. This is not like
No, that's what I'm saying.
vehicle.
It's not a robot play. It's not a car play. It's an Elon Musk play.
Tech company play.
And he's going to bring at least 4 companies public in the next.
Oh yeah, for sure. Starlink, SpaceX, 26. Get maybe even Boring Company. Cool. Close it out. Neuralink. Cool. Power of relationship. I know a lot of y'all keep asking why y'all keep doing shows and diversifying, and I know y'all get criticized for interviewing celebrities. This is why.
Yeah.
David Sachs got a fucking position in the White House.
Czar
doing the same thing. Made his own position. South Sachs, I'm not mad at you for doing it. Elon made up his own title.
Yeah, y'all saw Chris Rock on SNL.
That was crazy.
You say the wealthiest man in the world is African American.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.